What's going on, guys? Arcade here with a brand new video for you guys today. Welcome to my channel. So today we're going to talk about some more Baldur's Gate information, some more Baldur's Gate stuff. Recently a lot of people have been confused about the reasons why Baldur's Gate 3 doesn't have a listed Xbox release date. It's important to understand this. Baldur's Gate 3 has no exclusivity to any platform. Baldur's Gate 3 isn't attached to any publishing studio. It's all Larian Studios. They are their own independent company. Larian themselves have been very vocal and transparent about why Baldur's Gate 3 hasn't had an Xbox release date. And every time someone mentions on Twitter, they oblige by giving information. Whenever there's a game journalist who asks questions, they oblige them by giving them a response. They've been very clear and very consistent on their comments about the game not having an Xbox scheduled release. The keyword there is scheduled release because there is an Xbox version of Baldur's Gate 3, but they have to delay when the game's going to come out because of a particular situation. The game came out on PC on August 3rd and has a PS5 release date of September 6th. This has people confused, have people worried that there's like some kind of paid transaction between Sony and Larian Studios. There isn't. Larian Studios has repeatedly stated there is no time exclusivity. They have not taken money from PlayStation to withhold putting the game on Xbox. None of that is a thing. So any fanboys who are like, pushing that narrative needs to stop. Any fanboys from the Xbox perspective who thinks that there is some kind of money being spent around needs to stop doing that. That is not true. That is not a real thing. So what is the reason? Why is there no Xbox release for Baldur's Gate 3? Again, according to Larian, there is an Xbox version of the game. That is a confirmed thing by them. The Xbox Series X version of the game is working fine. It's all good. It's ready to go. But there's an issue with the Xbox Series S version of the game, which is holding it back. So people ask them the question, well, why don't you just release the Series X version separately from the Series S version so people on Xbox can play the game? They can't. They simply can't. First off, understand about Larian Studios. Larian Studios is a very good, respectable development studio. They pride themselves on giving people a complete experience with a video game and not having to basically have like a day one patch to fix 100,000 bugs and things of that nature. They don't want to have the unfinished release like most studios do. They don't want to just put out the Xbox version of the game and it not work the way that they feel like is good for their status quo. Yes, the Xbox Series X version is ready to go, but Microsoft has a mandate, a policy, that in order for a game to release on Xbox, it has to release on both the Series S and Series X at the exact same time. That's the problem. The Series X version of the game is ready to go, but the Series S version isn't. They can't release the game because Xbox has a mandate that they can't. So they have to withhold the Xbox Series X version until the S version is ready to go. So what is that issue? Well, according to Larian Studios, the issue is split screen co-op on Series S, as well as some performance issues as well. They're trying to nail those things down and get situated. They don't have a timetable for when they will or won't have it situated. That's why there is no scheduled release date. The reason why there's no scheduled release date is because they don't know when they'll have the Series S version ready to go. It could be as soon as next month. It could be next year. They don't know because they're working on it. And this is a studio who isn't doing like post-launch content for Baldur's Gate 3 as of now. They don't have any plans for it as of now. See my last video, I mentioned that they themselves came out and said that. So they're now that they're done with the PC release and they're working on PS5 release, they're still trying to hammer out the issues with the Series S release. So the reason why the Series S release is having issues is because of performance and because of the split screen co-op. It's important to know that this is not some kind of excuse from Larian Studios to like denounce Xbox, things like that, because again, they have no allegiance to any platform. The thing about the Series S, and this is a well-known thing, is it holds back gaming. It's not an awful console, but it's virtually a different console from the Xbox Series X, and it being so means that developers have to make 3 ports of a game when it comes to consoles. So he has a PS5 port, a Series X port, and a Series S port when it comes to making a console games, and that's excluding the fact that there's also the PC port. So we have to make all these different ports. It gets a little hard on the games, especially if you have a company who mandates that you have to release at the exact same time as the other version of that game. Again, Microsoft makes it to where you have to release the S version with the X version, no delays between the two. The benefit that PlayStation has is there's just one PS5. There is no PS5 and then a PS5, mini, essentially. Like there's a digital PS5, but it's the same console. It's not a whole new console. The Series S is basically its own console in the ecosystem of the Xbox Series. and it's not a great console. It has a history, a track record of being a shortcomings for developers. When Gotham Knights was released and it had all these launch issues and it was confirmed that the game was going to run at 30 FPS on next gen consoles, people were mad and developers were like, well, the reason why it has these issues, the reason why it is limited to 30 FPS is because the Series S, in which there's people who are like fanboys of Xbox who are like, no, the Series S can do this, can do that. Look at this game that runs at 60 FPS on Series X. Comparing and contrasting playing the other as a game and things like that. But the Gotham Knights developers were like, yeah, it's Series S that's holding back the ability to have Gotham Knights run at 60 FPS. Halo, which is a flagship for Xbox, a flagship for Microsoft, doesn't have split screen co-op, and this is a big talking point. If you look at all the Eggman's videos on Halo Infinite, it always goes back to this: there is no split screen co-op in Halo Infinite, at least. Why? Well, if the Series S is the reason why there's struggles with Gotham Knights, and the Series S is the reason why there's still having issues with the Xbox port, you're starting to like notice here that maybe the Series S is also why Halo Infinite can't have split screen co-op. Because 343 developers of Halo Infinite, they said they wanted to have split screen co-op. They promised that there will be split screen co-op. Then they also, months later, it's like, we're having a hard time, getting this into the game, so we're just not going to do it anymore. And that made a lot of people who play Halo very upset and mad, and they're as much of liars because of it. Well, we're starting to understand when you follow the trail, when there's smoke, there's fire. The Series S seems to be the common denominator in these situations. The Series S is holding back the Xbox ports of games. Developers are being forced to develop on Series S when it's a harder platform to work on. And I've been looking at Twitter and I'm seeing people saying that, well, this game has split screen co-op on Series S. How come this Baldur's game can't? You can't compare every single video game to each other, especially when it comes to like under the hood. Some games go through a different development style. Some games, have more, some developers have more or less experience with developing for multiple platforms and things like that. So, it can be harder. The big takeaway should be, why does Xbox need to have this mandate? Xbox should allow developers to choose to not be on Series S, especially if the S seems to be the problem here. Or at the very least, allow it to be a delay. Allow them to make it the export, put that out, and then delay the Series S version for a later time down the road. But it seems like that's what Microsoft's want to do. So if you're an Xbox player and you're curious on, when can you play Baldur's Gate 3, it's all going to be based on Larian Studios being able to get the game to run the way they deem to be respectable on the Series S. And now, me personally, I play Baldur's Gate 3 on PC, but I'm also an Xbox gamer. I would love for this game to be out September for Xbox so I can stream it. I would love to do Twitch streams of Baldur's Gate 3 off the Xbox. But I have to wait to be able to do that because, this issue. I have friends who are on Xbox who want to do co-op, with Baldur's Gate, and that can't happen until there's an Xbox release of the game, and that can't happen until they figure out what's going on with the Series S port. We all have to be patient in this situation and at least be appreciative that Larian Studios, who again are very transparent, are openly stating why there's issues and openly stating that they're trying their hardest to get this figured out. It's not easy to make a video game, especially one of this scope. You have to understand that, like, a lot of people have a consumer brain, so they don't know how to think about the actual development of something. They don't know how hard something is. You can't just snap your fingers and all of a sudden something's fixed. It takes time. So you gotta be patient. It sucks. Yes, it does, but you gotta be patient. For all we know, they'll have it fixed by September, and we'll get a Xbox release date, a couple days at the PlayStation or the exact same day. For all we know, it could be, October, November, December. Who knows? Any of that is possible because they don't even know. They're working on it, and they deserve that respect to be allowed to work on it. Because personally, I'm someone who's a big fan of, if something's not working properly, delay it until it does. Don't throw out games that are unfinished. Don't throw out games that have issues. Work on your game until it's ready the way that you think gamers would enjoy it. And that goes for, you got to delay the Xbox port for a number of months because of split screen co-op. Even if I myself won't even use it. Like, that's another thing about the situation is a lot of people are like, well, I don't care about split screen co-op, so who cares? The world doesn't revolve around you. You are not the main character. You are an NPC on the planet Earth. That's something you got to understand. Developers have to develop the game for everyone who will likely play their game, including the fact there's people out there who do play video games split screen, who do have one console in their home, but have a family who might want to play a Baldur's Gate game, who want to play a D&D style game with their family, with their friends on the couch co-op. So that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. You know, if it's helped you out, give you some information, some clarity on, you know, Baldur's Gate, you know, hit the like button. You know, just understand that, you know, this is all information that is available for you. There's articles involving the developers that gives you this exact information. It tells you exactly what the issue is and what they're working on. There's tweets from developers saying the exact same thing. This is not stuff that is rumored or speculation. This is all confirmed and known information about why Baldur's Gate 3 has not gotten a release date for the Xbox yet. Stop being confused and asking what's going on. Just listen. And that's it. And after you listen, be patient and let them work. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Y'all stay safe. Be your boy Noob Spot here. Deuces.